Okay, so I've gone ahead and logged into my account, and up on the screen you'll see the dashboard here with a calendar. What this is displaying is each report that I have listed under this account, and any date that is shaded green, or it could be a different color, represents a date that a shop was ran. The different colors would represent different lengths of shops. So one nice thing is we do not delete your old data. You're able to come view past reports anytime you'd like just by clicking on the date. Before we get into a report, I want to show you some information that you can find up here under the Settings menu. The first tab under Settings is your personal information. This is where your email, name, and phone number are stored. Under the Sharing tab, this is where you can set up people to receive copies of your reports. This will send them an email when the report's finished running in the middle of the night, and in the email is a link that will allow them to view the report without you having to share your password. One other useful tab in the Settings menu is the API Info tab. This gives you information such as the API key and report ID numbers. If you're using an outside tool that integrates with Revcaster, chances are you will need to get this information. Okay, so when you click on a report, this is the main overview tab that you'll see for every single one. Over here on the left is a list of hotels that are being shopped, and you'll notice there are several icons next to each property along with an ID number. The ID number is actually the Revcaster database ID number. We use this for troubleshooting. And then each icon represents the channel that we are shopping for that hotel. And each channel has different colors. So this one, Expedia, Orbitz, Travelocity, and Branded.com. The other really nice feature with these icons is they are live links that will take you, if you click on it, directly to that hotel on that website. A great way to do some spot checking if you needed to. Other information found on the Overview tab is the length of stay for the shop, when it began and ended, and when was the shop ran. If you were to look at this report before the shops were finished, it would let you know the status. There's a button here that allows you to download raw data. What this is a Excel or comma separated value file with all of the raw data from this one shop. Great if you have somebody on your team that really likes to crunch some numbers. There's also a download PDF report, which gives you a 2 to 3 page report in a PDF format that makes it really easy to share some of the basic information with others outside of your organization. This button here, the Share Report link, if you click it, actually gives you a URL that you can copy, paste, and then email to somebody and be able to share this specific report with them without having to share your password. The rate grid displays for you the lowest rate found for each hotel on each date of arrival based on the filtered parameters that you select up here at the top. Different parameters that you can choose would be by rate type, so unrestricted, any non-qualified, or qualified. The difference between those, so qualified would be a rate that a customer has to be a member of, such as AAA or let's say AARP. Any non-qualified would be any type of rate plan that anybody could qualify for. It could have restrictions on it, such as an advanced purchase rate, fully non-refundable. And then unrestricted, that is going to be the lowest rate that anybody could qualify for, but it has no restrictions on it. Typically, what you'll see here are bar rates or rack rates. We also allow you to filter by the different channels that we shop. So you could see the lowest unrestricted, for example, on any channel, or you could filter it down by any one of the OTAs that we also collect rates from. Once you make your selection, you just click Update, and then the grid will refresh dynamically for you. On the grid, you'll notice that some of the rates are different colors. The green means that this is the lowest rate for that day amongst you and your competitors, and then the red means that it's the highest rate that day amongst you and your competitors. If you were curious, what was this, say, $229 rate? On our rate grid, all you have to do is click the rate, and it'll give you all the details for that one hotel on that one day. So we can see on October 29th, for our demo hotel, the lowest rate was $185, the highest rate we collected was $380, and then we also give you the average and median rate. And then on top of that, we also give you all the details for every single rate that we collected. So on the left here, you'll see the channel, the room type, and the rate type that we collected from the website. And these are sorted from lowest rate to highest rate. So we could scroll down, and if we were looking unrestricted, we would find that the $229 was on Travelocity with a Suite 1 king bed. So we make it really easy for you to get all the details you need. You'll also notice some of the hotels may say closed. There's another option that would say missing. If we see closed, that means we actually got to the website and the website said the hotel was not available. Sometimes, because of the nature of the internet, we'll go to collect rates and maybe an error will occur, or the website will be down. In that case, it may show up as missing in our database, and we would represent that here with the word missing on the rate grid, just to let you know that there's some sort of error. Some other nice features on the rate grid is if you have more than, let's say, 4 or 5 hotels, by default the grid is set to be narrow to fit on a web page. You can click the expand button here and it'll actually widen out so that you can see all competitors that you have in your report on one page. Another nice feature is if you're using a browser such as Google Chrome or Firefox, you can actually click and drag to rearrange your competitors. So let's say if we wanted to bring competitor 5 closer to our property so we could compare each other's rates, we just click and drag and all of a sudden the rates are right there. This will be remembered if you're using a browser like Chrome or Firefox. Internet Explorer cannot remember the order that you sort this in, so just be aware there, please. As you might have expected, the rate plot allows you to graphically plot out in a line chart the rates from this shop. Initially it may be a little overwhelming because it is going to put all of the hotels up there, but we do allow you to narrow it down to a select few hotels, whatever you prefer really. So let's say we just want to see us and competitor 1 and competitor 2. And I'm okay with keeping it to any room type, although we could choose to filter this by specific types. And we also could choose if we wanted to see the highest rate and not just the lowest rate. I'm going to go ahead and click update here. And you can see it's now rechanged the chart for us. One nice thing is you can hover and see the actual rate that is represented by that plot. If the legend's in your way, you can click hide legend. And let's say we want to get it back to the way it was, we just click reset, and there we go. So the market map actually takes you and your competitors and plots you on a map. It's not just any map though. As you can see, we can zoom in, and if we wanted to click on a hotel, it'll actually plot their rates for us. So in this case I clicked on our property, but let's go click on a competitor and it'll actually take that competitor, plot their rates against ours for us. Very handy. I think this tool is great for somebody who maybe hasn't been to your market yet and wants to know exactly where your competitors are relative to your property. So the timeline actually displays what we call your rate index number. And very simply, to get your rate index, we take your bar rate and divide it by your comp set's average bar rate to get a nice number where 100 would mean that you and your comp set have the same rate. It's very similar to index numbers you may see on other reports in the industry. If your rate is higher than your comp set's rate, you'd see it green here with a number that's above 100. And if your rate's below the comp set, it would be red with a number below 100. On the calendar here, you also notice for this property, it's identifying a date where our shopper found no availability. And just like on the rate grid, if you want more information, you can actually just click on the data and it'll list all the rates that we found here for you. And you can see where it's taking your hotel's bar rate and dividing it by the comp set average bar. The hotel ranges report I sometimes like to call your competitor price volatility. The reason I say that is it's taking all of the rate information for each of your competitors that we found during this one shop and putting it in a graphical chart for you. What the rectangle represents is where the middle second and third quartile, or the middle 50% of all of your hotel or your competitors' rates fall. So you can say with confidence that the majority of your rates fall within that square. The lines represent the highest and the lowest rate that we found in that shop. And if you'll notice over here in the bottom right corner, as I move my cursor around, the number changes. So I can see when I hold my cursor at the top here that the highest rate found at our property was somewhere over $400. So how does this report let you measure the volatility of your competitors? Well, you're able to see at a glance the highs and the lows of the rates that we found for your competitors in this comp set. In addition, by being able to identify where the majority of the rates fall, you're able to tell if that price that you see that seems kind of low for your competitor, is that just a price leader room type, or is that truly where the majority of their price points fall? This will help you make strategic decisions in your own pricing. The Parity Report takes your hotel and lists the rates that we found for each channel that we shopped for each arrival date, and then color codes it to let you know if you're actually in parity or not. What you'll see is if you're out of parity, which means you're off by at least $1 or more, it's going to shade that date red for you. If you're in parity, like we are here on November 1st, then the row would be green. And if you're out of parity but it's less than $1, so in this case $202.99 compared to $202.39, it's going to shade it yellow for you as a warning. And again, just like on the rate grid and the timeline, if you want more details, just go ahead and click the date, and it'll list all the rates that were found on that channel for your hotel. So that you'll be able to identify, is this truly a rate parity issue, or maybe is it an inventory parity issue, or is it because this channel gets my GDS rates and I don't have an extranet agreement with them. Our tool allows you to get the details you need to investigate things at a faster pace. Okay, so that concludes our report demo for Revcaster. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at support@revcaster.com, or you can always go to our customer support portal located at support.revcaster.com. Thank you again and have a great night.